Alright guys, we're back with another Bricklink vlog. Let's go! Good morning, welcome along to VLOG59. Now I'm recording this really early on a Saturday morning before I go off and do the family stuff I mentioned at the end of last week's vlog. But I had to film this. This is an order that's come in from from a watcher of the channel, Rob. He's completing some sets, just a small order, but sent me a message anyway. He's a Bricklink seller. His store is called, or his username is superBRICKS, so go check him out. But thank you very much for the message. Hopefully you'll get these in time for your market next week and you get your sets completed. Thank you for your support. Right, I'm going to crack on now with, I've got two really big orders that need to be packed up and get ready for the post office because I've got to get over there before I leave for the day. All the other orders, they're kind of dotted around. Again, limitation of space, so I've got a few over here. These are all the sort of large letters. Sorry, tract 48 and tract 48 parcels, and then over here I've just got the standard second class large letters. I kind of keep them separate, it makes it easier when you're doing the batching in click and drop. Right, I must crack on. Right, good afternoon. It is Sunday, and to be quite honest, I didn't think I was going to do any filming today. I think I've said previously I wasn't going to do anything over the weekend. However, we've sort of come back from our family activities. This morning was a 5-mile cross-country run for both me and my wife. The boys both did the junior race, which was a bit shorter. We're all really tired. We're all caked in mud. And it's been a really sort of tough morning, but loads of fun. Loads of mud, and brilliant. But I'm sat here now while I'm stood and I'm just looking at all of these orders. I've just printed them all out, and in total we have got a huge 24 orders, 16 on Bricklink, 8 on Brickowl. Total value £277. And that's excluding the delivery charges, which is just absolutely fantastic. Over, or just nearly 450 lots, which I don't remember a weekend like it, and it is only Sunday afternoon. It's actually, what is it, 3:30, so we've not had the Sunday evening kind of rush. So my wife is helping me do the picking. I've just finished off the vlog, which will finally go out tonight. I do apologise if anyone saw it on Friday afternoon. It did go public for a short amount of time. I know a few people have watched it, but it's scheduled to go out at 6 o'clock tonight. We've already started to do some picking. We've got some trays over there that we've already done, and we're already over here now with two sets. We can only do 2 orders at a time, which is I think for me a real problem. We do use Brick Freedom, and you know, normally I would pick anything up to 8 orders, maybe even more, because I used to use the whole desk. Before we built this wall, I could use the whole desk and pick from both sides. And what I mean by that is, when I'm on the far side picking that wall, I've got access to the orders on the table. And then when I'm picking from over here, for example, I've still got access from this side of the table. So it works really, really well. Now that we use the trolley, we can only fit 2 orders, and we move the trolley around the office as we're doing the picking. So it really is, for us, a little bit of a bottleneck, and something that I might need to address. I have seen on other YouTube channels other guys using like a bracket for the laptop or tablet, Now I've got a laptop, so I don't really know how to sort of attach it to this trolley, or if this trolley is suitable enough for that bracket and to support the weight. I don't really know, but I think it's something we might have to look at if we continue to get, you know, weekends like this, because it will help for us speeding up the picking. I do know that from our monthly chats in the UK Bricklink and Brickowl Facebook group, that a lot of people pick one order at a time. But I think for us, because we're in such a small room, it works really well picking more than one order at a time. So that's something that I'm definitely going to have to look at, because I think, you know, especially today, that would certainly help speed things up. So that's it. That's the update. We're now going to spend, I think, the next few hours getting all of this picked. I think I'm going to have to do some packing tonight, because there certainly won't be enough time in the morning to pack the 24 orders. I certainly won't be able to do that in the morning. So we're going to have a busy afternoon and probably a busy evening. So we best get cracking. Okay, so we're still working our way through the orders, but I had to stop and pause and film this order here. Now, this order has come in from Amy and Chris, and there's a message from Chris. Actually, I've assumed it's Chris. It actually could have come from Amy. Either way, the message says, love the vlogs, thought I would support the channel. I wonder if I will be seen on the vlog. Well, the answer is yes. And here's your order. It's all been picked. It's all been bagged up. It's ready to go in the parcel, and we will have this order out to you tomorrow. Thank you very much for your order. It's a really good value order, actually. We do appreciate it. Thank you very much. Wow. So it's Monday morning. It's really early, and I've just finished putting all the labels on all of the orders that came in over the weekend. So this was sort of since Saturday morning, and then all of yesterday. Thankfully, last night was a bit quiet. After we finished picking and packing the final order, we had 3 more come in overnight. We also had more orders being placed as we were doing that mammoth picking effort. So I just want to put it on record. Thank you to my wife for all your help. I couldn't have done yesterday without her. It was absolutely incredible. In the end, there are 30 orders here. I don't think I've ever done that many in a weekend. I'm pretty sure. If I have, well, this just ranks up there amongst those, but I don't remember. But 30 orders we had to do, and you can see the amount of small parcels that we had, and then lots of large letters taking advantage of the track services. So really, really good. But we have got it all done. We did have one inventory error. We couldn't find some white plates, and I think that was my fault. I think I've put them away in a different location to where I should have done it, and I've made a mistake with the Brickstore file, and they're around here somewhere. We did spend, you know, a little bit of time, I should say my wife spent a little bit of time having a look through every single drawer, but it came to a point where I thought, you know what, it might just be easier if we've got the part in another set upstairs waiting to be parted out, and thankfully we did. It's this, what is this? It's an icon set, the Fountain Garden. Sorry, I'm not holding it up very well, but I don't want the contents to fall out. So luckily enough, we had enough in there, so it just seemed a better job just to get them out of there, get the order complete, and then there's no hassles at all with the customer, and their order can go out on time. And apart from that, everything else was absolutely spot on. Interestingly, I did have a weird problem with Brick Freedom this morning. I've never seen it before, but like I said, there's 30 orders here. Now there's actually 31, but one of them or two of them are a combined order from Brickhowl, and it always marks it as two different orders in Brick Freedom. So there should have been 31 orders going through to Royal Mail's Click and Drop. For some odd reason, it would only send 26. And I thought it was an issue with Royal Mail at first, but when I went back to Brick Freedom, it said it only sent 26 orders. So I went back and tried it again, and it did the same thing. It sent 26. I don't know why. I don't know what was wrong, but I ended up going into the orders list within Brick Freedom, where you can select each order, and I found the missing 4 orders. Okay, we weren't looking for 5, but we're missing 4. Selected those, and then you can send them individually or as a little batch to Click and Drop, and that worked. They went through no problem. So I don't know why that happened. I don't know if there's a limit within Brick Freedom that I'm not aware of, but definitely a weird one. But overcome, so no big issue. And like I say, all the parcels have all been labelled up and are ready to go. I'm not sure how my local post office is going to react when they see this lot, but you know, hey ho, I'm going to have to get 2 or 3 bags, I think, to fit that lot in. Anyway, I've got to finish off the rest of the morning's little duties, and then I've got to have a good sort out, I think. We've got a few trays to sort out over here, just inventory checks and things like that. And give the office a bit of a tidy up, because yeah, after that kind of pick, things have got moved around a little bit. Right, let's get cracking with the rest of the day. Well, you've got to love days like this. I'm feeling really, really good. It is Monday early afternoon, and this morning I had a great call with Chris over from the States, talking everything brick metrics. Really good call, great to catch up with him. So thanks, Chris, nice to meet you. But the other great thing about today, and I can't put my finger on it, I don't know what's going on, but the orders, I've not had a day like it. These have come in since this morning. As you know, in the earlier clip, we posted 30 orders, and I've had 7 more, and the value is just incredible. So if you have ordered, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. So obviously, change of plan for today. I've not been able to do anything that I originally thought of doing, but it doesn't matter. So now I'm picking orders. Now what I've done is I've focused on the 2 orders that were on a Tractor 24 service, and the first order that came in this morning, which is the far one over there, the largest one by sort of lot count, which is I think Track 48 parcel. So I need to get that one packed up, the other Track 24, and then this Track 24. This was the sort of latest order. This customer has ordered 7 Darth Vaders. There are 2 different types, which is brilliant, and a little paper bag Imperial shuttle, and some lightsaber blades, if that's what you call them. So really, really good order, great value, thank you very much. Now the other thing I just quickly wanted to mention was East Midlands Lego hire. Now on Friday I put out a post, or was it Thursday? Might have been Thursday, I can't really remember. I put out a post on the group to see if we could get some of the members of the group to share with their friends, and try and get the group to 1,000 members, and we have done it. And there you go. We've got, I think it's 1,003 when I checked, 1,000, well over 1,000 members of the group, which is absolutely fantastic. So I might do a special post on that this week if I get enough time, because the other thing I've got to get done this afternoon is Home Alone. Now we run a special every year for Home Alone, and that involves renting the set for about 6 weeks. You have the set on December the 1st, so you can collect it just before that. But the whole idea is that for each day of December, you build 1 bag of Home Alone. There are 24 bags, which means it's a great Advent type activity. And on Christmas Eve, you build the final bag and you have the complete set. You have the set then over Christmas and New Year, and it's not due to be returned until I think the 1st or 2nd week of January, depending on how it all falls. But I've got to get all of that planned out this afternoon and get a post done tonight, because it will be first come, first served. I do have more than one, and I know already there's been lots and lots of people asking about the set. I've had to withdraw it from the availability lists so that it's all ready for the first customers that message me tonight. But I've got to get that all organised. I've got to get that done this afternoon. So priority, get these orders out, and I will try and pick as many as I can and get them in the post this afternoon. I've only got about an hour left, so these are the most important ones. See if I can get any more done and get them out. Right, I need to get cracking. So just a quick update on the post we did last night for East Midlands Lego Hire. We advertised the Home Alone Christmas special. It was £50 for about a 5-week hire of the set. You get it for all of December and New Year. And all 5 sets have sold out pretty much sort of straight away. Bit of messaging backwards and forwards last night with the potential customers, and all of them took advantage of the offer. So that's all 5 booked, and they will be getting collected at some point next week. So that was really, really good. Now, the next thing I've been working on this morning is a part out. So this is set 10359. Now this was the set where I had to take some of the white 1x3 plates out to make up an order. Another inventory error, but probably on my part. Now I've already done all of the smaller parts, so they're in the sort of smaller trays there, and I'm just working my way through some of the larger pieces, and I've got those in front of me here. Now, as I was doing this, I got an order from Bricklink, which was quite good value actually. And I thought I'll just quickly check the orders and see where we're up to. But when I came to Brickowl, there was this message. Let me just see if I can get that in focus. There we go. Website's currently undergoing scheduled maintenance. It should be back within an hour. Now, I've never known Brickowl go down for maintenance, to be quite honest. I'm not saying it's never happened. I've just certainly never noticed it before, from what I can remember. But then I noticed in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen, it says internal server error. Now, I don't want to show it because it's got my IP address on it. And it says there's an internal server error on Cloudflare's network. Now, Cloudflare is a service that sits in front of your website, and I think it's supposed to prevent DDoS attacks and does other sort of security-related stuff. But when you go to Cloudflare's website, they're having issues, and it looks like it's been happening probably for like the past hour or so. Now that's going to affect lots of other websites. So today is, what day is it today? Tuesday. So if you are experiencing other internet related problems, it could just be down to Cloudflare. It is quite a popular service. A lot of companies do use it, so that could explain why some websites are down. I haven't noticed it on anything else, to be quite honest, but then again, I'm not sat here browsing the internet. So hopefully they'll get that sorted and Brickowl will come back up sooner rather than later, because Brickowl this weekend's been pretty good for orders, so I don't want it down for too much longer. So I'm going to get back to doing this part out. Well, hello, it's Wednesday afternoon, and I'm just starting to put away all of those parts that we've, well, sorted out over the last, feels like a couple of days actually. I've only sort of had a couple of sort of time windows to get the sorting out done, but I finished it off first thing this morning just before the school run, and now I'm slowly starting to consolidate it and put it away in the store. So you can see some of the drawers here now, and because we're short of space, you know, we're in a small room, this is definitely something that we have to do. We have to combine parts in the drawers. And what I tend to do is try and keep the colours completely different and keep the parts completely different as best I can. And it just makes it easier when you come to do the pick that, you know, you don't choose the wrong part. At least that's the idea. As with picking, it's never 100% foolproof. We know we do make mistakes, but I'm hoping that by doing it this way, we can limit those down to not very many. So the orders have all been done. They all went out this morning. The picking area over there is all nice and clear. It's quieting down a bit, but it's quieting down from a mega busy weekend, I have to say. So all good, all good. Still hitting those daily targets, which is the main thing, and long may that continue. And hopefully it's the start of the sort of pre-Christmas rush. Is that the right way of saying it? I'm just hoping that the sales continue as they do. I think we might hit a bit of a slump actually with Black Friday, and I know Lego themselves are doing some deals possibly this weekend actually. I think it's the Insiders weekend, and I've certainly got my eye on a couple of sets that will complement East Midlands Lego Hire, but we'll see what happens with that, because currently at the moment we don't have a set for New Set Friday this week. I'm just thinking, no, I don't think we do. So we'll just crack on with adding more parts. I think once I've added these, I'll go back to the really useful drawers, because I was just looking at the figures in the store this morning and we have taken a massive hit. I was actually hoping that this week's vlog was going to be about hitting the 700,000 parts mark in the store. And instead we've gone the opposite way. We're now down to just over 690,000. I think at the beginning of the week we were at sort of 698, something around there. It's just been manic, and we have sold that many parts over the last few days. In fact, I did look on Monday after the weekend, and just that weekend we'd sold 500 lots, just over, and 3,500 parts. It was absolutely phenomenal, and it has carried on. There's been some really good big orders that have come in, but this part out here, it's probably worth about 4,000 parts, so that'll go back some way into replenishing the stock, but obviously not all the way. You know, and that did get me thinking about sort of long-term goals. And you know, we've talked about getting to 1 million parts before, and I've already kind of said that that's just not going to happen, you know, in any kind of short term, shall we say. In the short term, we're not going to get to 1 million parts. But I kind of think the more parts we add, the busier we get. But I can't get too busy because I can't physically pack all the orders in time. It was great that I had my wife to help me over that weekend, but that's not always going to be the case, and I certainly don't want to spend every Sunday being that busy. It's a kind of weird situation, isn't it? I'm kind of saying I don't want to be busy, but I do want to be busy. I do want the orders, I do want the revenue, but there comes a tipping point where I think you can't really cope with that many orders. So obviously price increases is going to play a part in that. But yeah, I don't think physically we could cope with a weekend as busy as that every single weekend. We will take it for as long as we can take it. Right, I'm waffling. I'm going to get cracking on this part out and see if I can get it finished today. Hey guys, just a quick update. It's Thursday afternoon actually, and I have finished putting away and consolidating all of the parts from the part out. All that's left now are the instructions, which I'll probably scan the codes, and then I think they'll probably go in the recycling, to be quite honest. I think mainly with new instructions and new sets, it's just not worth keeping them. They're pretty much worthless, and they just take up a lot of space, so they'll probably just go straight in the recycling. Now, last night I had a really good sort of online chat with Kieran from Smudger's Bricks, and one of the things that we were discussing was the use of business cards. Now, it's actually been mentioned in our Facebook group. I think someone did or someone was asking about whether or not you should include them, and we kind of had a quick chat about them. But the reason why it was brought up was because we're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, and Kieran suggested putting a leaflet or a flyer in every order to see if we can get my customers to subscribe to the channel. So I quickly created a few different designs, but we came up with this one. Just really simple. Thanks for your order. And there's a QR code straight to the YouTube channel. And the funny thing was, I was showing this to my wife this morning, and I asked her just to make sure that QR code actually worked. And sure enough, it did. And as she loaded up YouTube, we realised that my wife hasn't subscribed to the channel. So I asked Charlie to go and have a quiet word with her. It was along the lines of like and subscribe. But anyway, we'll try and get those added into orders. I need to print a few of them out, get them all cut up and everything. And we'll start adding those and see if we can get to that 1,000 subscriber mark. Now, the other thing I've been doing is creating another brick store file. I'm just working my way through these. This is part number 4623B. And as we all know with these, they come in two different variants. One's a 5mm and one's a 6mm. The difference, I don't know if you can see on this one. Yeah, you probably can. You can see on the left, the 6mm version just sticks out that little bit longer. And this is my little handy comparison tool for the different greys, and even these clips as well. I've got the 4 different versions. But as I was checking them, these should all be B versions, but I found 3 of the A versions in there, which is why I checked them. And I can see they're all laid out just to make it an easy visual check. But they will get added to the brick store file. I've only done that so far. I'm actually just working my way through some of the drawers from over here. Apologies, it's a bit dark back here. I'm just working my way through these here. Simple reason that because we were so busy at the weekend, quite a few drawers are kind of hanging out because they're half empty, or they've at least got a slot empty. And all of these drawers here on my desk are sort of more than half empty. And I separate those out just to make it easier when we start to fill them up. But I want to get them off my desk. So the only way to do that is to add more used stock into the store. So that's what we're currently working on at the moment. I'm conscious that it's sort of approaching the weekend, and I've got a few other bits to sort out tomorrow. So I don't really want a sort of a part out or a brick store file on my desk over the weekend because I'm away, interestingly enough. But more on that tomorrow, potentially. Anyway, I best get cracking and see how far I can get with this brick store file. Good morning. It is Friday and we're heading towards the end of the week. Now, I'm not going to be working this weekend and Monday, so I think I'm going to close the Brick House store and put a message up on Bricklink to say any orders placed will be dispatched probably on Tuesday, I think, if all goes to plan. Now, was it the end of last vlog or the beginning of the last vlog? I can't remember now. But we talked about memberships of the channel through YouTube. And I just want to give a shout out to my latest new member, Vicente. Welcome on board. Thank you very much for your support. It's very, very much appreciated. And if you do want to become a member, there should be a button underneath this video where you can join. It costs £2.99 per month to support the channel, and it really does make a difference, so thank you. Right, now then, yesterday I was working on a brick store file, and I kind of hinted that I wanted to get it off my desk and away for the weekend, and here it is. It's growing a little bit more, not a huge amount, just things yesterday got in the way. I had a few other little tasks that I needed to get done, and the sort of normal distractions from doing this. However, I'm coming nearly to the end of the Rayco unit, and I found this drawer. It's full of Black Technic pins, and there's probably around about 3,000 in there. Now, I did say in a couple of clips before this that my aim for this week was to get to 700,000 parts. And I thought that was out of the question because we'd had such a busy weekend. But if I'm going to upload 3,000 of these pins, then I think we're going to get very, very close. So what I'm going to do right now is get the rest of this, or get this counted, get this double checked. I've got one more tub of tan brackets to add as well. Get the file finished, get it all consolidated, and let's just see where we get to and see if we can end this vlog on 700,000 parts, because that would be amazing. Right, I best get cracking. Okay, that is the brick store file ready. All of the parts have been consolidated and put away. So now I'm going to bring that brick store file into Brickmetrics. Just make sure that's the right one. I think that's what it is. And let's get the metrics rechecked on those. It's 15 updates. Now, the total part count in the file is 4,485. Now, in the last clip, I talked about getting to 700,000 parts in total in the inventory. I think my maths is a bit out. Either that, or earlier on this morning, I looked at a figure that hadn't refreshed, and I thought we might just do it. But I've got a bad feeling. Well, I've got a bad feeling. I think I pretty much know that we're going to be another couple of thousand parts short, I think. Let's just get this exported to Bricklink, and then we can have a look at the figures. So we'll just get this verified. So there we go, 4,485 items. Upload. Let's go back to the league. Where are we? Where are we? We're here. Yeah, 694,000. I don't know if you can quite see that. 694. Let me try and refresh with my other hand. Oh, a bit awkward. There we go. So we ended 698,616. Yeah, 1,400 lots. Sorry, 1,400 items. So my maths is a bit out. So maybe next week, maybe. We'll have to see. Maybe next week we can get to 700,000 parts, but we'll see. Right, okay, I better get this vlog produced and get it ready for Sunday. But before I go, a week on Sunday, just a reminder, a week on Sunday, 6:30, it's our monthly Bricklink and Brickout UK Facebook group meeting. If you haven't joined one of those yet, please, please, please do come along. It's great to meet new sellers or old sellers that have never joined the call before. So even if you can spare 10 minutes, half an hour, jump on the call. It starts at 6:30, but some of us ramble on quite a lot, and it might actually be a few hours. So if you can't make it at 6:30, but you can make it at 7 or 8 or 9, don't worry, jump on the call, come and say hello, and or just come and listen to what we've all got to say. It's always quite interesting. It's a bit of fun. So hopefully we'll see more of you there. Right, thank you very much for watching. If you've made it this far, I appreciate your support. I will see you all next week.